Hello and welcome to my channel CES Chalo English Sikhen. Friends, today's video is the continuation of my previous video which was on the identification of simple present tense sentences. That is, how to identify a written sentences if it is written in simple present tense. If you have not watched that video, you can refer to the description box where I have given the link. For now, this video is all about the identification of the sentences which is written in present continuous tense. So let's begin the present continuous tense. First, let's understand the conditions where we use present continuous tense. So this tense is used for expressing or stating the statement in the following four situations or conditions. There are basically four conditions where we use present continuous tense. Let's go to the condition number 1. When the work is happening at the same time it is stated by the speaker. What does it mean? It means the happening of action or work is simultaneous with the statement of speaker. In other words, when the speaker is stating or saying the sentence, at the same time the work is also happening. Let's see the example. She is playing football. Now we can see in the picture that a girl is playing football. Now, when this action of playing a football is happening, at the same time the speaker is stating this action. We can take another example also. Suppose you are talking over the phone and suddenly your mom called you asking, "Hey, what are you doing there?" Now, your answer would be, "Mom, I'm talking over the phone." Now, when you are saying that you are talking over the phone, you actually are doing this work. So, stating the action and doing the action is happening at the same time. Hence, these type of condition are put under present continuous tense. And the second identification is the use of am is are with the fourth form of verb, that is after the subject. Now we can see here she is playing. So she in this sentence is the subject and we have used the helping verb is. So since we use is after the she, we do not use am or are. And after the helping verb is, we have used the fourth form of verb which is playing, that is V1 plus ing. So if this is the structure of a sentence, then we use or consider or can identify this statement as present continuous tense. Let's go ahead with the other conditions. Now condition number 2, what it says: sometimes we also use simple present tense for an action happening around or close to a certain time, but not necessarily at the moment of speaking. Now, what does it mean? It means most of the time in present continuous tense, the statement by the speaker and happening of action is together. But in some cases, it is not necessary that the work will happen at the same time when it is spoken. But in this case, the action or work happens close to or near to a certain time, where a word will be used which will relate the action with the present time. Let's see the example. Now what the example says. This example says he is reading mathematics these days. Reading of mathematics is not happening at the moment of speaking, but actually the student is nowadays or these days focusing on mathematics, right? So the word these days here in this sentence relates the action with the continuous time. And the second way of identifying if this statement is present continuous tense or not is the same that we have discussed in the last example also, which is the use of am is are with the fourth form of verb, which is v1 plus ing, which is reading in this sentence just after the subject. So the structure is subject plus am is are plus v4. If this is the structure, then we can easily identify that this statement is in present continuous tense. Now let's move to the next condition. So what the next condition is saying, condition number 3. The condition number is saying we use this tense also to state the future work or program, which also realizes the future time, but the future identifying words like tomorrow, next day, next year has to be there in the sentence, and the work should not be fixed, because if the work is fixed, then we will translate or we will write those sentences into simple present tense. And if the work is not fixed and the adverb of time like tomorrow, next day or next year is there, then we will translate or write that sentence into present continuous tense. Alright, now see the example over here. Now what the example says, he is going to Delhi tomorrow. Now going to Delhi tomorrow is a future work, but it is not fixed, and adverb of time is also there, which is tomorrow. Now see, tomorrow is there, and the second identification is again the same use of am is are with the fourth form of verb, which is here in this sentence, going. Now let's move to the last condition. This tense is used for the work which shows future intention or likelihood. It also shows future time, but future identifying word or words are not necessary in this type of sentences. What does it mean? It means this is the exception of the last discussed condition, where for future action, if it is not fixed but adverb of time or future identifying word is there, then we use present continuous tense. However, here there is a future work but adverb of time is not there. Let's go to the example for better understanding. Now what the example says, John is going to buy a car. Okay, John is going to buy a car. Now buying a car by John is not fixed. That is why we are using present continuous tense. And the second identification of this statement, first we have seen that there is no future identifying words. Okay, there is no future identifying word in this sentence, and this is not fixed. And the second one is the use of am is are with the fourth form of verb. Again over here the structure is subject plus am is are plus v4. So if this is the structure of a sentence, we can easily identify this sentence is written in simple in present continuous tense. Okay, so let's go back to our recap section, where we will discuss all the conditions which we have already discussed. To have a quick recap, let's go here. So what it says, when the work is happening at the same time it is stated by the speaker, it is number 1. Number 2, sometimes we also use simple present tense for an action happening around or close to a certain time, but not necessarily at the moment of speaking. That means sometimes it happens that when the speaker is saying something or when the speaker is stating the action, at the same time the action is not happening. Okay, and for that we will have some word which will relate the action with the present time, like these days, nowadays. Let's go to the third one. We use this tense to state the future work or program which also realizes the future time, but the future identifying words like tomorrow, next day, next year has to be there in the sentence, and the work should not be fixed, because we have already discussed if the adverb of time is there and the work is fixed, then we use simple present tense and we do not use present continuous tense. But in this case, since the work is not fixed but the adverb of time is there, that's why we have not used, or we will not use, either future tense or the simple present tense. Okay, now number 4, this tense is used for the work which shows future intention or likelihood. It also shows future time, but the future identifying word are not necessary. And one more important thing, in this condition the plan is not fixed for any action. That means the action is not fixed that it will happen. It is not pre-planned. If it is pre-planned and adverb of time is not there, then we will use future tense. And if it is pre-planned and adverb of time like next year, tomorrow is there, then we will use simple present tense. I hope all the four conditions are very much clear to you. If you have any doubt or confusion, you can always ask your question in the comment box, where I will try to solve or answer your queries about the questions which you will ask. For now, this is all about the future present continuous tense. For now, this is all about the present continuous tense. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed my video. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead.